esqueci e me ilumina. Preciso de você aqui. O sol que se enriquece, a minha melanina. Só você me faz sorrir. E quando você vem, tudo fica bem mais tranquilo. Oh, tranquilo. Que assim seja, amém. O seu brilho é o meu abrigo, meu abrigo. E toda vez que você sai, o mundo se distrai. Quem fica, fica. Quem foi, vai, vai. Toda vez que você sai, o mundo se distrai. Quem fica, fica. Quem foi, vai, vai, vai. Quem foi, vai, vai, vai. Quem foi, vai, vai, vai.
So, we're back for the
We're
third
back.
section. We try again. We did about 3 interviews. We couldn't finish yet. It's about a month meeting.
Yeah, 3 before this. This is a 4th.
It's just an excuse to meet her again. Introduce yourself, because I think in our videos we
We
didn't have that.
done that
Um,
a couple of times.
I'm not sure if I had that in camera, because
okay.
we had a little bit there, we had other interviews.
Okay, sure.
We had some technical problems, so this is the 3rd interview about it. So I want to make sure we have that.
Okay, sure. So I am Nupur, your fellow nomad, and I have been exposed. Let me start with my nomad experience first. I've been exposed to this nomad culture since the last 8 years, I think now. But after COVID, it became my full-time purpose in life. Because I realize that time is really short and I really don't want to be rooted in one place. I really want to explore the cultures, and I want to make these borders as thin as possible for myself at least, and also meet like-minded people who are doing the same, and also setting an example for the coming generation. I think we had a word about that.
We talk about many things.
Yes, yeah.
So you start after COVID, and you've been between more Rishikesh and Bali, you told me?
After COVID, I was up in the mountains in Himalayas for almost 2 years. That was at the time of COVID when we couldn't fly out.
Okay. What about in the Himalayas? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Manali.
Oh, Manali, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I have a bit about Manali too.
Yes, I know you went there in Manali.
Yes,
You're very
yes,
close
yes.
to that. Yes.
Amazing.
So I lived in Manali during the whole time the COVID, the whole fiasco was happening.
Okay.
And I was up in the mountains, completely cut off from the world.
Amazing.
Completely cut off from the news, from what was going on in the whole world, because it started disturbing me when I was in Mumbai, and I made the choice of just move away. I couldn't cross the borders or take the flights, but I decided to go to the Himalayas. After that, I went to Bali. That was my second stop after COVID.
Okay.
And I stayed in Bali for 6-7 months, I believe. And after that, I was called to this land of gods and Ganga, to Rishikesh. So
Okay.
I'm here. But before COVID, my journey was entirely different. It was not from the perspective of, or not from the spiritual lens. It was more about exploring other countries. So I was traveling a lot in Europe at that time, in Middle East, in Southeast Asia a little bit. So having explored all of that, now I'm called to places that also have a culture and community that bonds us.
Yeah, and I think that's the best part of being a nomad, is like you get out of the tourist mindset and you go more to the local mindset,
Yeah.
and you actually, like we talked before,
Yeah.
you actually don't see everything from a culture, but you have a glimpse and a taste that not tourists can have it, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I have been a tourist also since my childhood. Because with my family, I used to travel a lot, and we would go to a place for a week for vacation and come back. But then when I grew up and I started going and living in these places, not as a tourist, I realized that is how we're supposed to live. That is how we're supposed to explore, because going to a place for 7 days, clicking pictures in the tourist spots, that's not what living that place is.
No, it's much better.
Yeah, I know.
It's much the places usually they have this thing. When you are a tourist, I think everywhere is like kind of magical because
Yeah.
because you see the beauty at the outside.
Yeah.
But when you are a nomad, the magic is still there,
Yes,
and you are part of this magic.
exactly. You're
You
living
know?
the magic.
Yeah.
You're not
And-
watching
and-
it.
Exactly, you are a little bit of part of this magic.
Yeah.
Like, like we were talking before, I'm never gonna be a local, whatever I am, and that's I think something you have to get used to as a nomad.
True. Yeah.
But you don't fit in the tourist category too.
No. No, I remember whenever I'm living in some place, I'm always making fun of tourists, and I go like, "Oh, they are tourists," and then I forget that I'm not a local here.
Let me actually show this.
Yeah. Well, this is the life of a digital nomad, like working at a cafe, eating delicious food, different cuisines from different countries.
I can get used to this very easy.
Oh, you will never leave it once you get used to it. It's a taste of life that you receive when you actually start traveling.
You know, it was always a dream for me to find something I could travel and keep learning and keep seeing different people because I love this. I love the lifestyle,
Yeah.
and that's why I start doing this even without knowing how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, just going to places and looking for jobs like a foreign. It's
That's
a
a way
hard.
to start. Yeah.
That's a hard life.
Yeah.
You know, you really got yourself in really bad situations, and in really tough situations.
Yeah.
You know, you need help of friends sometimes, family. You really get in. Oh, we can live in the streets
Yeah.
and be poor in any part of the country, even in Switzerland, and it's rich.
Yeah.
I would not say it's a good thing. Living in the streets, any place in the planet is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So as a digital nomad, that's one of the advantages, right? Because you know already with how much you can count.
Well, yes, that is actually true. That your livelihood is predictable. You know how much you have to survive. But then again, once we dive deep into it, we will also talk about how being a digital nomad is all not that glamorous as it seems on the outside.
Exactly.
It is a very hard life, and
Isn't a life like anybody else? People, always people ask me like this. Oh, I would love to be a traveler like you. I would love to travel the world and see things like different like that. Oh, this and that, and say, hey, I had a school for more than 10 years. It was hard. I was working 16 hours a day sometimes.
yeah,
You know, I was doing a lot. I was living just to survive sometimes. And it was a school, it was a business.
yeah,
And I say, in this life, I had hard times like anybody else, like any other life.
yeah,
You know, you have hard times.
yes.
You have to live in a budget. But any other life you do have that too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, given whatever challenges or obstacles a digital nomad can face, I would choose this over anything in any life. I would choose this over anything in any life. Being a digital nomad, I am ready to face the challenges, ready to face all the unpredictability that comes along with it. Like, for example, looking for a place. Sometimes you will have to look for a place every month. You cannot
Yeah.
find a long-term place. Handling visas, imagine that. Going through customs.
I know. I thought I would come to India, just buy a visa for 1 year and that's it. No, you have to get out every 3 months.
True.
You have to renew your visa. You have to do
Exactly.
this and that.
Exactly.
And yes, it depends on where you choose to go. These visa things can be very tough.
Yeah, it needs a lot of research, I would say, unless you are, I just want to carry my backpack and I will see what happens in life.
That's kind of
Or
me.
you can be like me, who does all the research
Okay.
beforehand, and still it's never enough. So you
Yeah.
still find situations which are tricky, but adventurous, so it's quite nice.
That's actually how I start. You know, I just want to go to places, and I never worry much about bureaucracy, and that actually put me some tricky places sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
Like you go to Germany, you have this and that, but you have to pay insurance, and it's about 300 a month.
Yeah, true. I
Same in
know.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
And you cannot get a job without that. And you have a lot of things you have to do in Europe just to get legalized sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're not counting that. That's extra money that you sometimes,
Yeah.
counts.
Exactly. Of course.
But as a digital nomad, like, what was the hardest for you to start this life, and what was the best? Let's make this streams here.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel I can write a book on it. Maybe someday I will.
Okay.
But yeah, I will classify it into two things to keep it simple. The hardest thing that I have found over the years for me is to have deep connections or to establish deep connections because and the best part is that you actually meet such beautiful people from all over the world. And
I relate to that.
it's so ironic that you meet those beautiful people, but then everybody is a nomad and everybody is moving from one place or one country to the other. And I would say, yeah, just having those long lasting friendships and deeper connections is something that I really struggle with. Saying goodbye to the best of the friends that you make over a period of time.
Can you
Because-
keep in touch with them?
Yes, but everybody goes to a different place. Some people, with some of us, we can stay in touch with each other. But then, life is.
How
I
long
would
do you
say,
stay usually
difficult.
in each place?
Um, on an average, I prefer to stay at least for 6 months.
Okay,
In
that's,
one place.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because
That's enough to make connections. Like
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really, really, like,
Yeah.
like I tell people that I have family everywhere. When they ask me like, "What is your family?" I say, "Well, I was born in Brazil.
Yeah.
I say I'm from Mars, born in Brazil, and I have friends all over. And actually, I have family all over. I'll tell people that because as a nomad, I understand today that real friends and real people doesn't go away when you go away. Like I had some really, I reconnect to some people that I met years ago.
Yeah.
And we just to sit down and have a coffee to see each other
Of
again.
course, yeah, and that's so special.
It's so not just special, but it's you see them after 10 years sometimes, and you say, wow, we still the same. The connection is still alive.
Yeah.
We still miss each other, and
Yeah.
we hug each other, and we talk about whatever we've been doing. And when I realized and this it was possible, then the first time I started traveling, I realized that it was possible really to reconnect and keep connected with people like that. Then I think you start making a really family. And
Yeah, you do.
You don't really disconnect it.
Yeah, not disconnected, but in the last 2 weeks, I have said goodbye to 3 of the very close friends that I made in Rishikesh. So maybe that's the first answer that's coming to my head because I said goodbye to the third friend this week, yesterday.
So we are here trying for the third time to do this interview.
Yes,
Yes.
the lucky number 3.
That's
Let's-
always like that. And I want to go fast forward in the topics of what is to be a nomad, like a digital nomad. I believe we are the first generation right now that is growing to a lifestyle that is going to be very common in the future.
Yes,
You know.
definitely. I really hope so. So I think because as we were discussing, after the internet came in, it became much more easier for us to explore different places, different countries, um, getting rid of these borders as much as possible, and explore the world, this planet, and not stay rooted in one place.
Yes.
So keep moving because we are given 2 legs. So that's what I think we have started. But then I also see we have noticed that the generations and that the kids who are coming now, they are already exposed to this magic where they are exposed to so many different cultures and places, which is I think a good transition. And I think we have a bright future for nomad community out there.
I believe it's just a natural thing to happen. I was talking to ChatGPT about what are the qualities that we need for humans to develop in the future of AI, for example. And of course, the main quality that we can develop is easy. It's just this mix of cultural knowledge and brighter our minds for this difference
Yeah.
and live together as one.
Exactly. Yes.
Like once we live in different places, not just go there and take a picture and come back home.
Yeah.
Once we live and we interact with people and make connections with locals,
Yes.
we understand and we are no different.
Like feel the place. We're supposed to feel. We are given these senses, and when we are living through the lens of a camera, which is also nice, I'm not against that, but actually absorbing the culture, absorbing the energy of the space. And that's why I think that for me it's extremely difficult to be a tourist anymore. So when I plan to go to a place, I need to be there for minimum a month for me to even understand what that place is.
And a month is nothing, right?
It's nothing. It
Oh,
flies so
I've been here
fast.
for 3 months and I'm just starting. When people
Imagine.
say, "Oh, you're gonna stay in India for 1 year," like, man, 1 year is nothing.
It's nothing.
Believe me, she's been here for since she was born.
Yes.
And we're talking about what is India because I cannot describe to people yet. She say, "Yes, I cannot too."
No, it's impossible. This country is so diverse, and I think we can say the same for our whole planet. Um, Obviously, I think it's a very big word, a planet, because we are living in what, a fraction of it, a very small fraction. And I feel that we, being human beings, given this opportunity to be on this abundant piece of rock, I think we should make the most of it and we should travel as much as possible. And now we are given these opportunities through technology and through people accepting different cultures, people accepting different people in their own countries, and um, this richness in this warmth that is coming in people's heart, coming back to people's hearts, is, I think it's incredible.
Let me ask you something because that's a thing for me actually. As I travel and I've been living in places as a nomad and working with people in their normal everyday jobs,
Yeah.
I see that as much as I connect to locals, I will never be a local. How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, that's very tricky because we although we can connect with the place as much as possible, we cannot be. I mean, we can be, but it's going to take a long time for anyone to that be one from to that place. And yeah, it is tricky because I think whichever country I travel to, I we are always a guest in that country. So and also I have come across some experiences where it was reminded time and again that you are a guest in our country.
Yes.
So I think it's important for us nomads to always also remember that although these countries and people are ready to accept us, but they are only accepting us as guests. Um, and yes, of course, there are parameters. You can be one of them, but it's very tricky.
It just come to my mind now. Are we humans just a guest as well?
Of course, we are. We are. I think more than a guest, we are just visitors. We are
Yeah.
a tourist here, and I think these are so. There are so many layers to this question. It's an amazing question you asked. That a guest can also stay for a really long time, but we actually, if we look at it from a universal perspective, we are just a blip in the time.
Yeah, or nothing.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. We are even less than a tourist. It's like we are landing at the airport and then taking off again.
and
So.
that's why I see no reason why not going around, like not experiencing things different.
Yeah.
For example, for me, it was such a hard thing to come to India, just to be here.
Yeah.
With my mindset and everything, the language is different, the culture is different. You see all these massive videos of India that scare us. And when I arrive here, I was telling her, my mind is just couldn't really process what is
Yeah.
about here. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I say, "Man, you have to come here." I've been here just 3 months, and I say, "You have to come here because what you see is not what it is."
Exactly.
You know,
What you
it's,
see is not the reality.
no, you see all this mess and trash and things,
Yeah.
but it's not. I cannot explain. You have to
Yeah.
be here and feel
Feel
and
it.
talk and share and
Yes.
try, and then you can have a glimpse of what it is. I don't say I'm gonna see everything.
Yeah.
Like I say to everyone, I'm just in a little piece of India and it's nothing.
True.
But I can have a glimpse. Like I had a glimpse of what is Germany, what is the German mindset, what was Portugal, what was Switzerland, what is Australia. I don't know the whole thing, and I don't think I know the whole thing about Brazil too, where I used to live.
Oh no, I think
But I have a better experience than many, just by
yeah.
living life.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the nomad thing,
Yeah.
because if this idea like of being a nomad, it means I have to work by myself, whatever I am. I have to adapt in the situation that I am.
Yes.
But I have to make an environment then I can be productive, right?
Yeah.
And some places are easier to adapt and some places are harder. For example, here in India, I found it very slow my productivity to adapt because it was so much difference and so much the lifestyle, the food, the people, the energy, the spirituality here is so strong.
Yeah.
That was so hard for me just to focus in. Okay, let's get a work and let's do this. We have to
Yes,
live. We have to
of
live. We have to pay
course.
bills. We have to do
We have
what
to
locals
work.
do. We are not on vacation.
Not a
We don't have
vacation.
this extra money. We don't have a work when you go back home. Actually, we are at home.
Yeah.
That's the difference,
Yes, true.
We are not going
We
back
are-
home. We
This
are
is home.
at home.
We are at home. Yeah.
And I think this is interesting to talk about nomads because you have more experience than me. I've been traveling like this, but like everywhere I go is my home. I find a different job, a different way to survive or live, and I usually adapt some boundaries and adapt some levels of things. Then I don't change. For example, I tell people my hygiene is something that doesn't matter where I am. Here in India is hard, but you cannot go that low. Healthy food, exercise. Now I'm putting some meditation on it all the time, and my contact with energy. I always need to live. This is funny. Wherever I've been, I need to live near the water.
Yeah. I get
Somehow,
that.
or in Germany was a lake, in Zurich was a lake. Here is a Ganga,
Ganga.
or the waterfall was just next to it. In Australia was the beach. In Portugal was next to the beach too.
Yeah.
So I always need to be near nature and I need to have water.
Yeah.
And this is like a coincidence, but it always happened.
Yeah. Because you need it and you kind of you attract it. That's what you want.
So we change from place to place, but some things doesn't change. What doesn't change with you?
Well, I would say it's forest and water for me as well.
Yeah, same.
Every time because I'm also very sensitive to energies and somehow I feel that a water body close to me it helps me stabilize my emotions.
Okay.
So I always look for a place which is close to water, especially a flowing stream if I can find.
That's what water does. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I'm always connected to this, and I realized, like I told my friends, one thing about moving around and seeing myself in different countries is then I know more about myself.
Yeah.
Because the environment around us always changes
Yeah.
and affect us.
It does.
But you see things on you that never change,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, and we have to keep those constants. I call them constants in our life because even though we are moving, it's important to stay grounded. We need to have these 4 or 5 constant things in our life in material
What
world.
are they?
Well, for me, same as you, one is water. The second is I really always look for a place which is not in the heart of the city or not in the center, so I'm away
Same
from the crowd, right? I'm away from the tourist or the crowd or the hustle bustle of the city because I need my quiet time. So that's something that I never compromise on. I always also look for a house that has more of greenery around. So I need a lot of blue from the sky and the water. I need a lot of green from the trees around me or the mountains or the forest. And then there is always good coffee and food. Which I always
Okay.
I need it because these are like they keep me not searching for something that I cannot live without, so I can save time with that and I can focus my energies on creating that or working. You know, we have to pay our bills, so
Coffee.
coffee for me. Yes.
Always coffee.
Always.
That's one of my triggers here in India that I didn't have a good coffee. It was like hard to find a good coffee around me. People are more in tea. I love the chai here.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. I'm adapt to the places
Yeah.
as much as I can, but I don't change some things. For example, when I started training, my protein diet was important. Here in
Yeah.
India, it's a carb diet. So I have to
Yes.
change my food system, and then your stomach and everything, your body actually have to adapt, and you're changing the time you eat too.
Yeah. It's
So it's a constant change in a nomad life. But I think after some years, this change becomes so natural, right?
It's natural, although like when you move to a new place, you need to give yourself, at least for me, I can speak, when I go to a new place, I give myself at least 2 to 3 days to adapt to the place, to the,
3 days.
at least.
I say that's fast. For me, it's like minimum a month.
As you just rightly said, that it gets better with time.
Okay,
Because
okay.
then you start to understand your body and your mind much better, and you understand what things work for you and what things don't. And especially when we are talking about these constants, if you have these constants taken care of, then it's easier to adapt to the other circumstances or surroundings.
Okay.
You know? For example, it's a very trivial example, but for coffee, I know that I might not find good coffee. I always travel with my French press or my AeroPress
Okay.
and a bag of coffee beans.
I used to have that in Germany, and then I lost it somehow. That's another thing. We leave
Yeah.
things behind, and things disappear. Sometimes we don't understand how.
Oh yeah, they go in the disappearing land.
They go in the
Yeah.
the black hole or something like this.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, adapting is something that you become really good at when you are a nomad, and when you're traveling to different places, your body is not. It doesn't go into a shock mode so soon. Um, you are prepared. Your body and mind is now prepared that every 6 months or every year I'm going to be in a new place. You know? So this adapting becomes much easier. But these constants, as you also rightly said, they have to be there in place.
Yeah, I think it's about keeping your mind and body healthy, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like once we are in a nomad life and we are forever travelers
Yeah.
somehow we understand how important is our health.
Yeah.
We don't want to be sick whatever we want.
Absolutely.
We cannot. Sometimes we cannot allow those to be sick.
Yes.
We are not allowed,
Yes.
to get sick in India. We are not allowed to get sick in Bali and some
Yeah.
very different places. So you have your health is your priority.
Yeah.
You know, and your mind, of course, because everything depends on your mind.
Of course. Yeah.
And with that, I think we go to the spiritual well, but that's a very peculiar and particular thing for me.
Yeah, but that helps actually. When you are more connected with the energies, you know how to maintain boundaries. You know how to draw a line at some place where you will not accept things. 10 years ago, I wouldn't be in that position. I would still do things even though I know it's not good for my mind or body, but I will still do them because the awareness was not that strong.
Oh, okay.
Now being aware about these things or understanding what our body and mind needs, it helps. It really helps to not getting into the positions or situations which are difficult. We can reduce the risk factors.
Yes, yes. Like in this case, when I focus in my health, I never go to the problem, like big problems.
Yeah.
In these last 5+ years that I've been traveling, because that focus was always there, and once your body is healthy, your mind is healthy, you take care of both, all the rest flows better,
It flows.
right?
Yes. Exactly.
Give me some tips for like beginners, like you want to become a nomad. Like people always ask me, how do you make money? Here in India, I'm still figured out. Some places are like these.
Yeah.
That's why I want to go to this e-business and become really someone that I can work online.
Yeah.
Before I wasn't prepared for that because I need the full experience of working in a place. But right now something changed on me and I say, oh, I can do that and live in the place and connect with people in the same way. It's just about the money where it comes from.
True.
So what tips you give to someone that want to start?
Well, the ground for a nomad life is you need to have a remote job or your own business, or if you're a freelancer, you need to have something in hand that is going to support your travels, even if it's not that big, but something that can pay your basic bills. So if you do not have a remote working opportunity, then it's very difficult.
You never travel nomad like me, then work and whatever.
No.
Yes,
No, I have
think
not
I think
done
that's
that.
what I think that's what's scary most people when I talk to, like, what do you work? I say whatever I find. You know, what are your qualifications? I'm like, oh, I'm a lawyer. I studied civil engineering. I had an English school, but you know, I've been a construction worker, a babysitter, a dishwasher, a cleaner. People just like, what the,
Yeah.
what is that? And I say, well, that's the jobs I can find. You know, when you move to a different country, you cannot really choose a job when you are just there for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, and job is job, and every job I learn a little bit. I think to have a e-job, to have a online job, definitely will make my life a lot easier in terms
Yeah.
of money. And I just have to figure out how to keep this connection with people. And this YouTube life,
Yeah.
it really opens to me right now as something amazing because, for example, I met some new other YouTubers, some other people like
Yes,
that in
yeah.
here in Rishikesh,
Yeah.
and I believe I will meet more and more. And right now I have 3 invitations of places to visit with them.
Okay.
You
That's
know,
great.
to do trekking, to travel together, to do content together. And this is amazing actually.
Yeah, it is.
Because it not just gives me the possibilities of like showing people
Yeah.
what is India about, what is this country about, and it's you cannot believe it. I see it just a little bit, and it's much more than just dirty streets and
Well, coming back to your question, I was thinking about what you said, that if you don't have something in hand already to work as a remote job, then I also would like to suggest that you should have that one skill that you can use anywhere. It could be more, but just try to develop any skill. It could be a language translator, for example, so you learn multiple languages. I know a few of my friends are doing that. So they're traveling to different places and they're finding these small jobs that they can do.
Okay.
So it's also nice to develop
How
one
about
of those
yoga
skills.
teacher? Is that a good job?
It's perfect.
I,
It
I was,
works everywhere.
I was telling a friend of mine that lives here in Rishikesh,
Yeah.
and I said, man, okay, you wanna travel the world, and I say, well, you are from Rishikesh,
Yeah.
you know, you are in a place that is the capital of yoga on the planet, and everywhere I know in the planet
Yeah.
has a yoga teacher somewhere that lives.
Everywhere.
It's not rich, but you live very well. And the people you talk to usually is middle class up that do yoga in
Yeah.
outside of here, and they are really mindful people, and it's a
Yes.
nice environment to work.
Yes.
You work your body and mind at the same time, so it's a definitely I think one of the professions you can travel the whole planet.
Yeah, and I can see a lot of people are already doing that, and it's also very good because we need more of those people who can travel over the world and actually teach the yogic philosophies and the yoga and the asanas. So yes, that is definitely one of the skills.
I was like, I have to do this. I'm gonna do definitely 300 hours
Ah, yeah.
plus because I'm in the capital of yoga in the planet, so I'm not getting out of here after 1 year without that.
Without the yoga teacher
No,
training.
no. This, I will not do it for teaching probably,
Yeah.
but I will do it for myself to put in my routine.
Oh, definitely.
I believe
Definitely.
yoga is amazing too.
Yes.
Like meditation, I think yoga is amazing too.
Yeah, of course.
And how about sound healing? I met her in a sound healing session.
Yes. Yeah.
How about that?
Sound healing is also the same. It's just that you become heavier with sound healing because you have to carry your instruments with you.
True.
Which is in my case right now I have 12 kgs of just my sound healing equipment.
Okay.
So I just know whenever I travel next, I will have only 2 pairs of clothes with me and 1 pair of shoes, and that's it.
Wow.
Because my sound healing is going to occupy most of the space, so it's another challenge for me continuing on this journey. But it's not something that will stop me for sure. It's even I'm finding it challenging, but it's more exciting. Even that.
Oh, it's like a musician when he has to carry the guitar and
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
You know, it's another profession that you can travel the whole planet, right?
Absolutely.
Musician.
Yeah.
Musician, sound
Yoga
healing,
teacher,
yoga.
sound healing, meditation teacher. I do Reiki healing, sound healing, meditation teaching. I'm also a spiritual coach. So this is everything. All these skills that I have now, they help me to travel the world, and I can actually travel to any corner of the world and help people. You know, with the skills that I've developed, and I feel nothing but gratitude to be on this path actually.
And that's pretty amazing actually because that's the thing that shows us that we are all the same.
Yeah,
You When you
Exactly.
go to very different cultures, and you can do a sound healing or you can do a yoga, and people feel the same and connect the same.
Yes.
And and like wow, like in our, I think in our group of when I did sound healing, there were people from everywhere,
Yeah.
and
From
and the
world.
meditation was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think everyone was there like, wow, you
Yes.
know. Like,
Imagine doing that in any part of the world.
yeah, I
Right?
imagine
So
now.
you are in that community, in this beautiful, amazing, high vibrating community. People who are going to be the change makers, or who already are the change makers. You're connecting with them everywhere you go, and not just digitally, in person as well.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of it, and that is why I think just developing that one or two skills that you really, really connect with, and sharing it with the whole world
Amazing.
is something that is going to make you a successful nomad.
Okay, I think you just gave me the extra thing I was waiting for, because I was feeling like I like the idea of connecting to other YouTubers or
Yeah.
other digital nomads here, but I really love the personal touch
Exactly, yeah.
with the locals like that.
Yes.
And like you say, to have this skill, then you can have that,
Yeah.
this personal touch, and help people, help the communities, or help the people around you, wherever you are.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is definitely something else. This is amazing.
It's the beauty. I mean, think once you find that purpose in your life, and if you want to be a nomad, that means you really want to travel and form these connections. But imagine that you can also share something from yourself to others. It's just, for me, it's basically, I feel like I'm living my dream life, and I feel that I have been put on this planet just to do this.
Oh, I think we definitely can finish with that.
Yeah.
Because exactly, a nomad life is for someone else, then is not just thinking about themselves, you know.
Yeah.
If you think about yourself, you never get out of your place and just make
Yeah.
money and build your own structure like around it. But I think a nomad life is more about that. It's like you wanna grow with everybody else.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
And share your gifts with each other.
yes, yes.
Right? Well,
Anything else you can add for me?
well, I would just like to say that I can't wait for you to just grow on this journey.
Oh.
And
Me too.
keep a watch, guys. His videos are coming out soon, and
Yes.
especially the video about Nepal. I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, that experience is blow my mind.
Yes.
And it's just a glimpse of what I have here in India, because many times here in India, like I go for a normal thing,
Yeah.
and it becomes like a blowing mind experience,
Yeah.
and it takes me really a while to digest everything.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
it will get better with time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be a pro nomad soon.
I hope so.
I will definitely see you on the other side. When you're
Thank you very much. We're gonna, you know, the planet gets very smaller when you start traveling
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So you start meeting people in crazy situations
Yeah.
in different parts of the planet, like you meet in maybe in your city a friend sometimes,
Yeah.
like by coincidence.
Coincidence, yes.
Okay,
Alright.
thank you very much,
It's my pleasure.
and it was a really big pleasure. I will
Oh,
put,
amazing.
I'll be do the best edition ever,
Yes.
and see what we can do from here.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
of course. Thank you.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
ना होना कभी तू जुदा तेरी मेरी कहानी है बारिशों का पानी बन के जो इश्क बरसे तेरी मेरी कहानी मुझ में सफर तू करती रहे हर एक सांस में गुजरती रहे श्याम सुधा तू मेरा तेरे बिना क्या मेरा दो जिस्म जान एक है ना होना कभी तू जुदा तेरी मेरी कहानी है बारिशों का पानी